Yesterday, an oil spill polluted more than 4 kilometers of coastline at the city of Lecheria, one of Venezuela's top tourist destinations. The Venezuelan government is yet to announce what caused this oil spill or the extent and gravity of it. There have been more than 50 oil spills in Venezuela this year itself, most of them concentrated on the Caribbean coast, where massive oil refineries operate with little environmental oversight. Today we bring to you a few of the oil spill disasters that have gone down in history as being catastrophic. But before that, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to One India. The first in the list is the BP Deepwater Horizon oil spill of 2010 in the Gulf of Mexico. This is officially the largest accidental spill in the world history. It began when an oil well a mile below the surface of the Gulf of Mexico blew out, causing an explosion on BP's Deepwater Horizon rig. The explosion killed 11 people and the amount of the oil spilled was 206 million gallons. BP made several unsuccessful attempts to plug the well, but oil flowed at a rate as high as 2.5 million gallons per day until the well was capped on July 15th of 2010. Oil gushed from the broken well for more than 85 days, oiled 572 miles of Gulf shoreline and killed hundreds of birds and marine life. Next in the list is the Persian Gulf War oil spill of 1991. It was not an accident but a deliberately induced event. On August 2nd of 1990, Iraq's leader Saddam Hussein ordered the invasion and occupation of Kuwait. The aim was to acquire Kuwait's oil reserves and to expand Iraqi power in the region. The United States then amassed a coalition of British, French, Egyptians, Saudis, Syrians and others to dislodge the Iraqis. After a massive air and ground campaign in January and February of 1991, Iraqi forces retreated, but in the process they ignited hundreds of Kuwaiti oil wells which burned for months. In a bid to deter the coalition from landing Marines and other amphibious troops in northern Kuwait and southern Iraq, Iraqi forces released hundreds of millions of gallons of oil from Kuwait's Sea Island terminal into the northern Persian Gulf before the end of hostilities. The amount of oil that was spilled was in the range of 13,60,000 to 15 lakh tons. Then there was the Ixtoc 1 oil spill in 1979 in Mexico. Like the BP Deepwater Horizon fiasco, the Ixtoc 1 oil spill didn't involve a tanker but rather an offshore oil well. Pemex, a state-owned Mexican petroleum company, was drilling an oil well when a blowout occurred. The oil ignited and the drilling rig collapsed. Oil began gushing out of the well into the Gulf of Mexico at a rate of 10,000 to 30,000 barrels per day for almost an entire year before workers were finally able to cap it. Around 140 million gallons of oil had spread on the ocean floor due to this. Another bad one was the ODC Tanker Oil Spill of 1988 in Canada. The Liberian tanker ODC was carrying 132 metric tons of crude oil when it was caught in an Atlantic storm. Having endured 25 feet waves and 50 meter per hour winds, an explosion occurred on board and split the ship in two. More than 40 million gallons of oil spilled out of the vessel, covering an area of 30 square feet, about 700 nautical miles off the coast of Newfoundland. No cleanup efforts were made because the spill occurred so far from shore. The spill reportedly had a large effect on the local krill population, which impacted the food chain for years. Fifth in the list is the Atlantic Empress oil spill in July of 1979. Two oil tankers collided in the Caribbean Sea off the coast of Tobago during a tropical storm. When the accident occurred, the Atlantic Empress was en route to Beaumont from Saudi Arabia while Aegean captain was sailing from Aruba to Singapore. Immediately after the accident, the supertankers, the Atlantic Empress and the Aegean captain started to leak their cargo and caught fire. According to reports, around 88.3 million gallons of crude oil was discharged into the sea, making the accident one of the largest ship-sourced oil spills in the world. In addition, the accident also claimed the lives of 26 crew members as the Atlantic Empress exploded later. These were a few of the worst oil spills in the contemporary history that caused much havoc to the environment and the marine lives. We hope you liked this new video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to One India channel and never miss an update.